did you first find out about Reviver?
But I think Reviver was introduced to a firm, I think Michael Marks, by John Thompson. And he had told us about this little startup that he had invested in, and he wanted us to talk to. And that's when I first met Neville and Mike Jordan, the two founders of the company, back at Riverwood.
What piqued your interest about Reviver, and then helped you decide to invest in the company?
Well, I have to admit that I wasn't initially impressed when I first met the founders. They talked a lot about what was in the plate, but didn't impress me about why I should have the plate. And at the time, the plate was pretty clunky and pretty expensive. And so I didn't really stay long in the meeting, but I kept running into these guys over the course of maybe 12 or 18 months, and at CES and other places, and I kept seeing the improvement. And every time I met them, they would pitch me on this, and we had an opportunity to sit down where I was helping them with their presentation, and they would walk me through what they were thinking and why this thing made sense. And it finally got me to realize that this thing had a lot of what I look for in investing. One was, it was a technology that was trying to disrupt a large existing market. And I like opportunities where you can disrupt a large existing market and not just trying to create some new market. This to me represented a platform upon which you can add a lot of the kinds of services that people required another device for.
So when you think about the company right now today, what are the opportunities that you see today, but what do you also look at for the future? How do you believe this transcends where the company is today into the future?
Well, the company has come a long way. In the early days, we focused a lot on, getting the attention of the legislative bodies and making sure we can get states to approve this type of technology onto vehicles. And I think the company did a fantastic job doing that. And then we continued to refine the license plate itself, reduce the cost, improve the performance and the reliability. And I think the company has also done a very good job. And now we have a product that works. It works well. We have the interface with the DMV that's working very well. While there are some improvements we could make on user interface, we have a product that is very good, works very well, and a price point that is much, much better than where we started. But I think there's some important things we have to do. Over time, this company has to be able to transition from primarily a hardware company to probably more of a software SaaS type business. Because I think in the future, once we are successful, the logical thing would be for the plate to be built into the vehicle. And so now the company has to make sure we can control the software side. And I am excited about the potential future here. This is a technology that needs to survive. This is a company that needs to thrive because the capabilities we bring to people in their in their vehicles is tremendous.
It's interesting because you've been unique in your ability and the time that you took to actually look into the company of itself. You took your time to actually do a lot of the research. In that research, what did you find out about the actual marketplace and potential adoption of a product like this?
The things that really got me excited was when I called up several of the DMV leaders. Because one of the concerns I had was, this involves the government. And anytime you have something that involves the government, you're always concerned about whether or not you can be successful. And there are two aspects of the government. One is, the legislative activities that we had to be engaged in order to get this thing approved in various states. And the other one was the DMV. And I called 3 DMV leaders, I remember, at least 3, might have been more, but I remember calling someone in the head of Florida DMV, Arizona DMV, and California DMV. And they were all excited about this plate and the benefits it could bring to their customers. And that was a shock to me. But we all have had experiences at the DMV many of us would prefer not to have had. And the interesting thing was the folks in the DMV don't want us to be having those bad experiences either.
Right,
and they saw this as a way of helping them to also provide better service to their clients. And I talked to a couple of the fleet managers and really got to understand some of the challenges that the large fleet managers face with having to deal with stickers being shipped around and trying to figure out where vehicles are, and that trying to get stickers on vehicles in a timely manner, and the cost associated with trying to do that, having in some cases, a dozen people working with them, just spending time at the DMV and then tracking down vehicles. And clearly, it made sense for a technology like this for those applications.
Thank you. I mean, I want to appreciate you being, kind enough to give us time for the interview and also open up your home. But without you taking that time and investment to be able to, we wouldn't have been in a position to be able to actually transcend or get to a point where we're having this discussion.
Well, you're welcome, but we haven't won yet. We still have a lot of work to do.
Ton of work.
And so, we're hoping that the key is execution over the next 9 to 12 months. And if we do a good job of that, this company could be something special.